as we face the denial stage of life, we tend to experience and express different types of feelings. So here I'll do a breakdown of the feelings we get to when we are processing the denial stage of grief. The first one is shock. You know, like I said in the previous video, no. When you say no, it already shows you're in shock. You are in disbelief. You are doubting that the event is even true. That it is not true that your boss could fire you. It is not true that your girlfriend or boyfriend has just broken up with you. It is not true that you've just lost your marriage. It is not true that your children are rebellious. Like I talked about different types of losses. Even the diagnosis of a doctor, you might feel like it cannot be true. So you're in shock, you're in disbelief, you tend to feel like it's not true, and in this case you end up in shock. It cannot be true. I was healthy all along. What happened? I was in love with this person. What happened? I was with this person a few minutes ago. How comes they have just died or passed on? You know, those questions that you ask yourself that show you are in doubt, you are in denial, you don't even believe that the occasion is true. The other emotion or the other feeling that you could express is a lot of sadness. And in this case, it's where we find that you are mourning, you are grieving, you are crying, or you're just gloomy, you cannot even smile, which is okay. It is very okay as you process a loss and you're in the denial stage to feel a lot of sadness, overwhelming pain. Sometimes you feel like the heart is crushed, like you cannot even take your daily routines well. And it is very okay when you're in the denial stage. Sometimes you also feel confused. You may not even think straight, and in this case, that's where the support system comes in. If you have a very strong support system, and unfortunately, when it's the loss of a loved one, even the people around you would also be grieving and maybe as well in the denial stage. But if you're very strong, you could offer support to the rest of them when they are confused. Help them make sober decisions in this case. The other thing you can also feel is anger, a lot of anger, like you want to, for example, you just lost a relationship. You might want to find that person you are dating or that person you are married to, and you feel like you can just crush them, beat them up, and destroy them. That is a lot of anger. Or even your boss, for example, if he's just fired you or she fired you, you know, you might feel like, no, it's not, I wish I can meet this person and face them. And that's real, that's normal when you are going through the denial stage. You might also feel hopeless. Let's say you lost a loved one, and in this case, they were the sole provider, they were a protector, like it's a parent or somebody you trusted so much. You know, it's possible for you to feel very hopeless. But the good thing is, it's a temporary phase of grief that even in your hopeless state, you know that I can face this. And that's where counseling maybe comes in, where people can come in and just talk to you. The other thing you could also feel is loneliness. A more of loneliness and hopelessness just go hand in hand. For example, if you are depending on somebody and then they just left you to death or left you for another person, you know, you could find yourself very lonely. And also if you've gone through rape, because I also spoke about rape as a type of a loss, and you feel very lonely, you cannot trust anybody around you, you don't feel like you can talk to anybody, that's a sign of loneliness and a sign of denial as well. The other thing you can also feel is panic attacks. You'll be very anxious. In case you hear something, you start hearing voices, you start feeling things that are not true because you're in the denial stage. You can also avoid places. This is very common. If you lost somebody through an accident, you might want to avoid the place where the accident occurred. For example, if it was a fire attack, if it was during the flooding seasons, if it was in a hospital, you may want to avoid those places for the sake of you processing the loss, or because you are assuming it is untrue. You may, even the house, for some people, if you lost somebody in the house, it's possible to want to avoid that room, that seat where they used to sit on, and it is very normal when you are experiencing the denial stage of grief. The other thing you could also experience as you go through the denial stage is nightmares. We have heard of people who see images, see visions of people who they have lost. For example, if you survived an accident and somebody also died in that accident, or something very tragic happened in that case, you might experience nightmares. For example, even if you've lost your freedom to a narcissist or all that, and then you just found yourself out of such a case, You could experience nightmares of the previous things that have happened in your life, and it is very okay when you're in denial. You can also feel guilty, especially if you thought you could have done something better about the deceased, but you didn't give them much support or didn't give them enough of what they needed. You might find yourself blaming yourself or even other people for not being there for this person. Or like, say it's a job, you feel like, I wish I did this, I wish I was a better person. If you are a wife who lost a relationship or a husband who lost a marriage, you might feel like, I didn't give my best, and you start blaming yourself, and you even feel guilty at the end of the day as you process the denial stage. You can also fantasize about this person. For example, if you've just gone through a death related loss, it is possible for you to fantasize about this person and feel like they're here with you, you are talking to them, you address them, and it is very normal when in the denial stage of. Yes, keep following me for more videos.